I died in the year when the crown prince loved me the most. 4 years. I lingered by his side as a wandering soul, until I finally woke to the truth it was he who had brought about my demise. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the very day the secondary consort entered the Eastern Palace. Halt the ceremony. His Highness the Crown Prince has ordered no disturbances, lest we trouble the Crown Princess. A smile tugged at my lips. How deeply affectionate Crown Prince Xiao Junyao was. Indeed, he had insisted on keeping the entire wedding for his new secondary consort hush-hush, all under the pretense of fearing my heart would ache. What was even more absurd was that night, he took me straight to the bridal chamber alongside the new bride. He turned to Gu Lancy, the newlywed secondary consort, and spoke sharply. His Highness and the Crown Princess share a deep, mutual love. Behave yourself as a secondary consort, Gu Lancy, and do not dream of winning my favor. As he spoke, his fingers remained tightly laced with mine. All I felt was bitter irony. If his love for me ran so deep, why had he insisted on taking another consort at all, on his wedding night? The Crown Prince left his new bride to sit alone in her empty chamber and insisted on sharing my bed instead. I made an excuse of being unwell to turn him away. Xiao Junyao did not take offense. He immediately ordered servants to brew brown sugar water. Ching ching. You always suffer from stomach pains these days. My young energy is strong. Let me keep you warm. I pushed him away. He stared at me for a long moment, then seemed to have a sudden realization. Are you jealous? Ching ching. I have explained this to you before. Taking the secondary consort is merely a political move. I seek the backing of her family. Once I ascend the throne, I will send her far away so she never offends you again. His profound eyes brimmed with what seemed to be endless tender affection. Very well. If he chose to play the part, I would play along too. Tears welled up in my eyes as I forced a sad yet gentle smile. Junyao, I believe you. I just wish to be alone for a while. And so the noble crown prince resigned himself to sleeping on the narrow couch beside my bed. The couch was far too short for him, and he tossed and turned restlessly all night long, robbing me of my rest as well. One morning, I woke up retching violently, alarmed. Xiao Junyao summoned the imperial physician at once. It was then that we learned I was with child. This pregnancy had been discovered far earlier than in my past life. Yet counting the days, I was indeed already more than a month along. My spirits lifted. With this child as my excuse, I could rightfully avoid sharing his bed from then on. Still, I had no wish to let him torment Gu Lancy either. I also thought of Luo Qiaohe, the overlooked concubine who lived like a ghost in the Eastern Palace. I sent for her. Would you like to receive the Crown Prince's favor? Luo Qiaohe dropped to her knees in terror. This servant dares not. I tried to look kind and approachable. I mean this sincerely. Her face drained of color. His Highness will have me killed. Has your ladyship quarreled with him? His Highness loves you with all his heart. Humph. Another woman deceived by his false devotion. If she refused, I would not press the matter. News of the pregnancy spread throughout the Eastern Palace. The usually composed crown prince was overjoyed. Behaving like an elated child, he lavished rewards on the entire palace and held my hand. His voice soft and sweet. I have sent riders to the country estate to fetch river prawns you enjoy. Is there anything else you crave? I shall have it brought here at once. His acting was truly masterful. If I had not known his true intentions, how he planned to use this child to frame me for an early death, I might have been moved. The next day, Xiao Junyao came to me with a proposal. Ching ching. I see you are plagued with constant nausea and hardship. I would send for your mother to stay and look after you. What do you think? I knew full well his motives were far from kind. He did not truly wish for my mother to care for me. He only wanted to use her to deliver distressing news about my family and wear me down. Even so, I agreed with a delighted expression. It had been ages since I had seen my mother. When I laid eyes on her, younger than I remembered, my throat tightened with emotion. Mother was an excellent cook. Seeing how I struggled with the pregnancy, she personally prepared delicious meals for me. Before long, Gu Lancy appeared. She claimed she had come to check on me. Yet her eyes kept drifting to the dining table, clearly eager to stay for the meal. There was more than enough food. So I invited her to join us. Gu Lancey's face lit up instantly, pouring out endless pleasant words. Crown Princess sister, you are as beautiful as you are kind. You are truly like a sister to me. I smiled to myself, but both the Crown Prince and my son frowned deeply. Xiao Juanyao's expression turned stern. Secondary consort Gu. The Crown Princess is with child. Do not disturb her and disrupt her rest. My 9-year-old son Xiao Xuan spoke up indignantly. Consort. Father has given you 2 royal chefs. Are you now trying to steal even mother's meals? I shook my head helplessly, recalling how in my past life, Yixuan had lingered for days outside the Xinang palace after my death. I tapped his wrist with my chopsticks. This boy has a sharp tongue but a good heart. Do not take his words to heart. Lancey, little fool, you look down on her now, but you will live to regret it later. Gu Lancey smiled shyly. Please just call me Lancey. Sister. Just then, Xiao Juanyao's personal eunuch Zhao Si rushed in to report. Your Highness. Your Ladyship. Messengers have arrived from the Rong household. The man was led inside and threw himself at my mother's feet. Old madam. Disaster has struck. Young master is missing. I lowered my gaze. So Xiao Junyao had finally made his move. The Crown Prince feigned greater anxiety than even my family. He immediately ordered all servants and guards of the Eastern Palace to search everywhere. Do not worry, mother-in-law. Ching ching. I will bring your brother back safe and sound. I glanced at my son, who nodded subtly. I felt at ease. My own influence was limited, trapped as I was within the palace walls. Days earlier, I had spoken at length with Yixuan. When he learned his beloved father intended to kill me, he had flown into a rage and wanted to confront Xiao Junyao outright. After I shared my plan, he had agreed without hesitation. My younger brother was already safely hidden away by him. Mother was beside herself with worry and insisted on returning home. I could not tell her the truth yet, for the sake of our act. Before she left, she gave Gu Lancey an extremely rare cold jade pendant, begging the young girl to look after me. My heart ached. Mother was truly desperate. Gu Lancey was merely 14, still more of a child than my 9-year-old son. How could she possibly take care of me? Such is a mother's boundless love. Later, Gu Lancey told me, Sister, I have sent letters to my father and brothers, asking them to help search for your brother. Life was truly full of twists of fate. This girl, who should have been my rival, showed me genuine concern after knowing me for less than a month. Meanwhile, the man I once hoped to spend my life with plotted against me in secret. Xiao Junyao left in a hurry that day. He returned late at night, looking troubled, unable to speak his mind. I took the initiative. Have you heard any news of my brother, Your Highness? He placed a hand on my shoulder. Ching ching. I hardly know how to tell you. We found your brother, but he was beaten and had both his legs broken over unpaid debts. Do not distress yourself. I let out a gasp and pretended to faint from shock. When I woke, his eyes were red-rimmed. My voice trembled with tears. Your Highness, you know I have long grieved over losing my younger sister when I was little. Now my brother too. I trailed off, unable to finish. Xiao Junyao squeezed my hand. I still remember your wedding day. Your brother carried you to the bridal sedan chair and told you to return home if you ever suffered wrongs in the Eastern Palace. He spoke those words to warn me. He feared your family's modest standing old leave you vulnerable here. To think such a kind young man now lies crippled. He spoke deliberately to torment me, determined to keep me anxious even in pregnancy. In my past life, this news had sent me into premature labor. Back then, he had rushed to my side and summoned half the imperial physicians. I had been foolish enough to feel grateful, never seeing through his charade. As if realizing he had spoken out of turn, he quickly added, I should not have told you so abruptly, but I knew you would hate being kept in the dark. Rest now. For the sake of our child, I shall go at once to bring him home and find the finest physicians to heal him. I stopped him and helped fasten his cloak. The night is dark and windy. Please take care, Your Highness. Fate was against him. Shortly after he left, a heavy downpour began. Fearing he might turn back, I sent servants with umbrellas and raincoats after him. Then I called for Yixuan. It is time to set our plan in motion. Dawn broke before Xiao Junyao was carried back to the palace. He had been caught in the rain, fallen from his horse in the dark, and then been accidentally trampled by his men's horses behind him. He smiled bitterly upon seeing me. I let my guard down. He winced in pain. But your brother is safely brought back. I could not help but admire his dedication to his act. Even badly injured, he continued his performance. I put on a look of deep concern and ordered the physicians to tend his wounds. Once his injuries were dressed, I spoke eagerly. Your Highness, where have you placed my brother? I wish to go and see him at once. I burned with curiosity, since my real brother was hidden by Yixuan, who exactly had Xiao Junyao brought back. But he held me back by my sleeve. Do not go, Ching Ching. His injuries are far worse than mine. I fear the sight will upset you. Spotting Yixuan arriving, he ordered, Yixuan, you go in your mother's stead and check on your uncle. I was about to argue when a palace maid announced the arrival of the Emperor and Empress Dowager. I shot Yixuan a meaningful glance, letting him go to investigate. As the crown prince, Xiao Juanyao's injury was no trivial matter. Though heavy with child, I busied myself welcoming the imperial couple, yet received no kindness in return. The emperor regarded me coldly, and the Empress Dowager looked on with undisguised disdain. They blamed me for bringing trouble upon the crown prince because of my family's misfortunes. Xiao Junyao spoke up to defend me. Father, mother, this is no fault of Qingqing's. I chose to go myself. She is already distraught over her family's troubles, yet she still tends to me while carrying the imperial grandson. The emperor finally turned his gaze to me. Since you bear the imperial heir, sit and rest. I let out a quiet sigh of relief, only for the Empress Dowager to add sharply. The eldest imperial grandson is already 9 years old. Yet even with child, you refuse to rest and insist on waiting on others. Outsiders would think your father and I show no compassion. I had endured such unfair words in my past life, swallowing my grievances for Xiao Juanyao's sake. This time, I would not hold back. My eyes glistened with tears. Mother-in-law, I only feel guilty for bringing trouble upon His Highness. I let the tears flow silently, holding back my sobs. Xiao Junyao prided himself on being the most devoted man in the realm. Seeing me wronged, he could not stay idle. He struggled to sit up, only to tumble off the bed. His injured leg crashed onto the floor, fresh blood seeping through the bandages. Do not blame Qingqing, mother. All blame lies with me alone. The Empress Dowager fumed, yet dared not argue with the injured crown prince before the emperor. She stormed off in anger. The emperor frowned. Get up at once. To act so foolishly over a woman, what a disgrace. After the emperor left, I hurried to help Xiao Junyao up. His image as a devoted husband was firmly upheld, but at a steep cost. His leg wound had reopened badly. The physicians rushed over. As they unwrapped the bandages stuck to his skin, they discovered his broken bones had shifted out of place once more. The chief physician looked troubled and finally admitted, Your Highness, if the bones do not set correctly, you may be left lame for life. By imperial law, anyone with a physical disability was barred from inheriting the throne. To fully recover, Xiao Junyao had no choice but to endure having his broken bones reset forcefully. Servants held him down to stop him from struggling as the physicians worked. Yixuan returned from seeing the supposed uncle and looked pained at the sight of his father's agony. I pulled him outside to ask Abu. My brother, mother, Yixuan said. The man father brought back is an impostor. I saw traces of disguise on his face. His palms have thick calluses, and his inner energy is strong, is clearly one of father's secret guards. Just as I suspected. Unable to find my real brother, Xiao Junyao had sent a disguised guard to take his place. He had forbidden me from seeing the man for fear his deception would be uncovered. Yixuan did not meet his uncle often, So only his careful observation had revealed the truth. Ishuan added that the fake brother had both legs crippled and his face badly disfigured. Xiao Junyao had sacrificed a valuable secret guard just to make me grieve and threaten my unborn child. I patted my son's shoulder gently. Your Ert softens for him, does it not? Ishuan hung his head. I sighed. But think of what he has done. He sought to kill your mother and your unborn sister. After me. His next target would have been Lancy too. Ishuan clenched his fists tightly. I was weak for a moment. Rest assured. Mother, I will protect you and my little sister. Just then, Gu Lancy arrived carrying lotus pastries. Sister, I know you are troubled over His Highness and your brother. Try some pastries, they always lift my spirits. Ishuan had told me before how precious these pastries were to Lancy. She shared them with no one but him. Now she had included me as well. I reached out to take one, but my maid Kaiping knocked the plate to the ground. Consort. His Highness ordered that the crown princess must not eat anything brought by you. Lancy's eyes welled with tears. Sister. I mean no harm. I only wish to share something nice to cheer you up. I suddenly realized Kaiping was a spy planted by Xiao Junyao to watch over me. I know your intentions are pure. Lancy. I turned to the guards. Kaiping has shown disrespect to the secondary consort. Send her to the laundry house as punishment. Kaiping fell to her knees, pleading, Your ladyship, I have served you loyally. Do not break the hearts of your servants. Loyalty. Spying on me day and night, and plotting with your master to harm Lancy after my death for your own gain. Such loyalty I had no use for. Since she chose to provoke me, I would show no mercy. If you refuse the laundry house, then put her to death. Drag her away. The commotion drew Xiao Juanyao's attention. He called me to his chambers, disapproval in his eyes. Ching ching. You carry our child. Do not let anger harm your health or the baby. Let her be demoted to a junior maid and fined 3 months' wages instead. At once, I clutched my stomach and let out cries of pain. Ishuan's expression turned cold. What are you standing there for? Can you not see this maid has made mother ill? Carry out the execution at once. As the eldest imperial grandson, Ishuan was deeply cherished by Xiao Junyao, who always played the part of a loving father, even at only 10 years old. No servant in the Eastern Palace dared to disobey him. Xiao Junyao tried to rise to help me, only to tear open his wounds again. Kaiping screamed for the crown prince to save her, but he could not even help himself. Meanwhile, Ishuan covered Lancy's eyes to shield her from the gruesome scene. I stepped forward to block Xiao Juanyao's view. The physician set about bandaging his wounds for the 3rd time. Once Kaiping was dead, I sent Ishuan and Lancy away. I looked at Xiao Junyao with feigned anxiety. Did I anger you by ordering her execution? Your Highness. He smiled indulgently. How could I be angry? A lowly maid is nothing compared to you. I only feared your anger would harm your body. Let us speak no more of her, she is nothing but bad luck. My heart turned cold. Kaiping had served him faithfully, yet in the end, she was dismissed as nothing more than bad luck. My voice broke into sobs as I threw my arms around him, accidentally pressing down on his injured leg. Junyao, my brother is still so young, with no wife or family to care for him. Once you recover, you must avenge him. Xiao Junyao looked stunned. He had expected me to collapse in grief or miscarry, yet I remained composed. I know you did all you could. I sobbed. I do not blame you. I will protect our child. I shall also send funds from the palace to care for my brother for the rest of his life. You will grant me this, will you not? His smile was forced. Of course. That night, Xiao Junyao tossed and turned in bed endlessly. I, however, slept soundly, even laughing in my dreams. How could I not rejoice? He had sacrificed a loyal guard, crippled himself and suffered repeated agony, wasted palace funds and achieved none of his evil goals. I suggested sending the fake brother back to our family home to recover. But Xiao Junyao refused. Let him stay in the Eastern Palace for now. The imperial physicians here are far more skilled and can tend his wounds better. This only confirmed my suspicions. He dared not let the impostor leave the palace. Terrified my parents would uncover the deception. Even confined to his bed with severe injuries, his scheming heart never rested. Just then, Zhao Si rushed in with a look of joy. "Your ladyship, we have found your younger sister." I froze on the spot. I had long grieved over my lost little sister. As a girl, I had carried her through the rain to seek treatment when she fell ill, only to collapse from fever myself. When I woke, she was gone. This loss had haunted me for years. After marrying Xiao Junyao, I had told him everything, hoping he would use his power to find her. Yet in my past life, I never saw her until my dying day. Now this sudden news, coming right after the fake brother incident. I knew another trap was laid before me. A peasant woman was led inside. Timid and fearful, I saw at a glance that she was not my sister, though she carried the small bell my sister had worn the day she disappeared. In my past life, Lancy had eventually found my real sister. She bore a six-fold resemblance to me. This woman looked nothing like us. Tired of his tricks, I cut straight to the chase. "Your Highness, this woman is an imposter." Xiao Junyao tried to salvage the lie. "But she carries the bell you spoke of." "Ching ching, the bell is genuine enough," I scoffed. "But I have another way to prove the truth. I have never spoken of this to you before. To protect my sister's honor, she has a mole on her collarbone. Send a senior maid to examine this woman, and all will be revealed." The peasant woman paled in terror. Xiao Junyao looked utterly exhausted. "Drive her away." After this second deception, I decided to feign illness. I applied makeup to make myself look deathly pale and exhausted. Xiao Junyao grew alarmed at my appearance. "You have not slept well, have you?" I dabbed at my eyes with a silk handkerchief. I cannot rest while thoughts of my lost sister plague me. I then pretended to be seized with stomach pain. The imperial physician examined me and prescribed complete rest, using my poor health as an excuse. Xiao Junyao ordered me to hand over all palace affairs to Lancy and restricted Yixuan from visiting me. My chambers became an isolated prison within the Eastern Palace. Only Xiao Junyao and his selected maids were allowed to enter freely. Even my own son needed his permission to see me. To pass the lonely days, I busied myself sewing new dresses for Lancy. The intricate 100-pleat skirts kept my hands occupied. One day, to my surprise, Lancy crawled through the dog tunnel outside my courtyard to visit me. She looked upset. "Sister, His Highness is being unreasonable. He claims I might be manipulated by others and forbids me from coming to see you." I handed her the new dress I had made, and her tears turned to smiles. She once again offered me her beloved lotus pastries. I stroked my belly gently. "When my daughter is born, I shall raise her to live a carefree life just like Lancy." I was grateful for this young girl, who braved crawling through the tunnel every day to keep me company. Trouble came one evening as Lancy was leaving. She startled at the sight of the palace hounds and fell into the pond nearby. Without hesitation, Yixuan jumped in to pull her to safety. What a foolish boy. In our world, a woman's reputation was held higher than her life. If anyone had witnessed this, Lancy would have been ruined by gossip. Thankfully, I had sent all servants away the moment I saw Yixuan approach. They left quickly, likely assuming I had plotted to harm the secondary consort. Once the two were out of the water, I had dry clothes prepared for them to change into. Lancy was beside herself with worry, fearing I would blame her for compromising Yixuan's reputation. Yixuan stepped in front of her. "Mother, I chose to save her of my own will. This is none of her fault." I smiled. He addressed her formally in front of me. Yet I knew he called her simply Lancy in private. At 10 years old, he felt only innocent friendship for her, nothing more. I set the lotus pastries before Lancy. "Do not worry over this. It was merely an accident." Her worries faded, and she smiled brightly once more. "Sister, you are the kindest person I have ever known." Word of the incident soon reached Xiao Junyao's ears. He intended to punish Lancy severely, but I stopped him. "Your Highness, I have already settled this matter. If you interfere now, how am I to manage the palace household?" Concerned for his public image, he backed down. "You are right. I shall leave it in your hands. Later, Lancy came to me in secret and warned me to be wary of the crown prince. My family sent word. He promised to make me empress once he ascends the throne. She swore every word was true. I stroked her hair gently. Poor naive girl. Trusting him so completely. Xiao Junyao leg healed very slowly. As soon as he could walk, he returned to court, still limping noticeably. The third prince mocked him openly. When he returned to the palace, he held my hand earnestly. They laugh at me. But I have no regrets. For you, Ching Ching, I would gladly give up the throne itself. I wore a look of heartfelt emotion. Yet inwardly I rolled my eyes. Empty words. His misfortunes were all self-inflicted. Before long, my labor began. 7 days earlier than the physicians had predicted. I saw Xiao Junyao off as usual that morning. The moment he left, my strength crumbled away. I called Yixuan and Lancy to stand guard outside the chambers. Then entered the delivery room. Labor was agonizing. Just as the child was about to emerge, I felt a powerful force pushing the baby back inside. That despicable Xiao Junyao. I had barred all the midwives he had sent from the room. Yet he had still found a way to plant a traitor among them. Lancy was wiping the sweat from my forehead. Summoning my last strength, I whispered one word. Midwife. Without hesitation. Lancy struck the treacherous woman down. The other 3 trusted midwives immediately took over her work. Before long, my child was born safely. Lancy carried the newborn to me. Congratulations, sister. It is a baby boy. Xiao Junyao rushed back into the room at that very moment. I resumed my act of terror and relief. Your Highness, I thought I would never see you again. That wicked woman tried to kill me and our child. Enraged, Xiao Junyao kicked the dead midwife across the room, dragged her away for harsh interrogation. Eventually, he announced she was a spy sent by the third prince and ordered her executed in secret. Yixuan went to witness the execution. She had been suffocated layer by layer with rice paper. I held my newborn son tightly. She deserved her fate for doing the third prince's dirty work. Yet one thought troubled me deeply. In my past life, I had given birth to a daughter. Why a son this time? Lancy had never left my side during labor, and Yixuan stood guard outside. There was no chance the baby could have been switched. 3 days later, a newborn baby girl was found abandoned in a well not far from the Eastern Palace. Her features were unmistakably those of the daughter I had lost in my past life. The truth dawned on me. Xiao Junyao had feared I would not live long enough after his ascension. With 2 legitimate sons, he would be forced to name me empress and could not fulfill his promise to elevate Gu Lancy. So he had swapped my baby before birth, sacrificing his own daughter for the sake of his ambition. My hatred for him burned hotter than ever. Not long after, Luo Kaya Heath quiet. Forgotten concubine came to me and begged to adopt the infant girl found in the well. She knelt and kowtowed repeatedly. I only wish for a child to keep me company. I do not even ask for her name to be recorded in the royal lineage. I sent people to investigate and learned the baby had been willingly abandoned by her birth parents. I granted Luo Qiaohe's request, though I secretly added the little girl's name to the royal registry. After all, she had been my daughter in my past life. After all, Xiao Junyao raised no objections to the arrangement. He was far too occupied with fighting for the throne as the emperor's health declined. Xiao Junyao finally claimed the imperial throne. Yet he delayed naming me empress indefinitely. Give me time. Ching Ching. The court officials oppose your humble family background and refuse to accept you as empress. To comfort me, he formally named Yixuan the crown prince. What a farce. When he had begged to marry me as crown princess, countless officials had opposed the match. Yet he had defied them all. Now that he ruled the realm, he claimed to fear public opinion. It was nothing but a hollow excuse. I did not argue. Merely comforted him in return. A new imperial examination was held for his ascension. A young scholar from the Jiangnan region named Rongxian claimed first place. To my utter joy, this new top scholar shared not only my brother's name but also his exact appearance. We were finally reunited with my real brother. As for the fake brother who had lingered in the palace, he vanished without a trace the moment we went to look for him. I turned to Xiao Junyao. Your Majesty, it is long past time to purge this palace. First a fake sister, then a fake brother, to preserve his noble image. Xiao Junyao officially honored my brother Rongxian as the top scholar. With my powerful new brother supporting me, he could no longer put off naming me empress. Still, he soon created new trouble for me. The Empress Dowager had a niece named Chao Chuanxiang. In my past life, Xiao Junyao had used her to bring down Empress Lancy and the Empress Dowager. Now he intended to set her against me instead. I sought to stop Chao Chuanxiang from entering the palace. I sent her a storybook written by Lancy, telling the tale of a young noble lady who fell in love with a scholar only to discover the man was an impostor, the adopted son of her own aunt, who had seduced her solely to be used as a weapon against his stepmother. Lancy smiled. Surely this will dissuade her from coming to the palace. But we were wrong. Chao Chuanxiang still entered the imperial harem. She is truly hopelessly infatuated. Lancy sighed. As expected. Chao Chuanxiang grew jealous the moment she arrived. She looked down on me despite my status as empress, relying on her aunt's influence to show disrespect. The more she provoked me, the more pleased Xiao Junyao became, raising her rank higher and higher. On the day she was titled noble consort Chao, she came to my cunning palace to flaunt her status. Yet once the doors were closed, we sat together in secret, plotting our revenge. The foolish girl had learned the truth about Xiao Juanyao's schemes and turned her passionate love into bitter hatred. She wanted him dead and our goals aligned perfectly. Is the time right now, Sister Empress? Chao Chuanxiang asked. I nodded. The harem is firmly in our hands. It is time. Ever since giving birth to my younger son, I had pretended to suffer lingering complications from labor. Calling physicians constantly, Xiao Junyao had eagerly sent countless rare medicinal herbs to treat Memony laced with subtle poisons. Now those very herbs would serve our purpose. Days later, the Empress Dowager learned her own brother had been killed by Xiao Junyao and confronted him furiously. As emperor, he could not ignore accusations of unfilial conduct. He stood exposed to the bitter cold wind outside the Sinang Palace for 2 full hours and fell gravely ill with chills. The poisoned herbs I had saved finally found their use. Xiao Junyao refused to let me tend to him. So the devoted noble consort Chao took my place. His illness grew steadily worse under her care. Together with the Empress Dowager, I appeared before the imperial court and announced that the crown prince would oversee state affairs in the emperor's stead. Xiao Junyao finally realized he had been betrayed. He knocked over the bowl of medicine Chao Chuanxiang held. Poisonous witch, what have you done to me? Chao Chuanxiang stared at the spilled medicine with feigned regret. Your Majesty, I am innocent. I worried over your health and heard you had given all your finest medicinal herbs to the Empress. I simply asked her for some to heal you. Xiao Juanyao's face drained of all color. You and Rongqing are in league together. I stepped out from behind the silk curtain, my voice soft and hurt. Your Majesty, you once called me Qingqing. Why do you speak so coldly now? The light faded from his eyes. Rongqing, when did you discover the truth? I smiled coldly. Do you mean when I learned your precious healing herbs were laced with poison? Or when I realized your so-called undying love was nothing but a performance? That you wished for me to miscarry, to die in labor, to perish so you could place another woman on the Empress's throne? My smile turned playful and triumphant. I shall never tell you. I intend to leave you to die with unanswered questions. A strange, bitter smile crossed Xiao Juanyao's face. He shouted for his most trusted eunuch. Zhao Si, Zhao Si. Chao Chuanxiang and I tensed with alarm. In my past life, he had summoned his hidden assassins with his last breath. I had already sent men to lead his secret guards away. And Chao Chuanxiang had found an excuse to send Zhao Si off earlier. I looked at him. Did you never trust noble consort Chao? Xiao Junyao laughed bitterly. How could I rest easy with enemies lurking beside me? Yet the doors opened, and Zhao Si walked inside. He stood tall and straight, no longer bowed in servitude. His words struck the final blow. This servant comes to escort your Majesty to the afterlife. Xiao Junyao collapsed weakly onto the dragon bed, his eyes blazing with hatred. I never imagined even you would betray me. Chao Chuanxiang and I exchanged confused glances. We had not bribed Zhao Si. Zhao Si let out a cold laugh. Your Majesty does not need to know the whole truth. The Empress ordered that you die never knowing why. She. Ao Junyao breathed his last. We later learned Zhao Si had grown up alongside Luo Xiaohe. They had promised to marry once she left the palace at 25. Their dreams were shattered when a drunken Xiao Junyao forced himself on Luo Xiaohe and falsely accused her of seducing him. Filled with rage, Zhao Si had entered the palace as a eunuch solely to avenge her. Luo Xiaohe asked permission to leave the palace and take the young princess she had adopted with her, though the girl was officially a royal princess bound by palace rules. We had already committed regicide. Old laws no longer mattered. You may take her, I told her. Her title as princess will remain hers. She may return to the palace at any time in the future. I also granted her the title of Dowager Concubine Luo. If ever Zhao Si fails you, you always have a home here. Zhao Si frowned. I will never wrong her. I hoped that was true. Once, I too had believed I had found a devoted husband in Xiao Junyao. No one could see the future. Chao Chuanxiang left the palace under a new identity, to my great surprise. When we met again years later, she had become my brother's wife. True to her nature, she still had a fondness for gentle scholars and my brother. Traveling the realm in plain clothes to search for our lost sister had caught her eye. My brother had spent half a year traveling across the land with my sister's portrait and name, and finally found her. He arrived just in time to save her from being sold to a brothel by her cruel adoptive father. After Xiao Juanyao's death, I spoke with Gu Lanci and asked what she wished to do. She told me she wanted to leave the palace. On the day of her departure, my son Yixuan changed into commoner's clothes and accompanied her all the way to the pavilion 10 miles outside the capital. I thought their story had ended there, but that night, after the city gates were locked, Yixuan forced the gates open and chased her beyond the capital walls. He brought her back. Lanci told me she had experienced a vivid dream. In that dream, I died shortly after giving birth to my daughter. She became empress instead, eventually discovering Xiao Juanyao's true nature and joining forces to bring him down. She had intended to place Yixuan on the throne, yet he had passed the crown to his younger brother. I patted her head. It was only a dream. Do not dwell on it. But the next day, I noticed something had changed between them. Lanci carried herself with a newfound confidence, surpassing even my own bearing as Empress Dowager. She avoided Yixuan's gaze, while his eyes overflowed with deep, unhidden affection. I overheard their private argument. I wish to marry you, Lanci, Yixuan said firmly. Even in that dream of yours, I taught my younger brother his first words. An elder brother is like a father. He has fully accepted me as his paternal figure. I even wrote a storybook, though I never finished printing it. The title is Tales of the Cold-Faced Dark Scheming Regent and the Quick-Witted Elegant Dowager. Lanci retorted. And what if I still refuse? A hint of wild resolve flashed in Yixuan's eyes. Then I shall have no choice but to keep you by my side as my regent's captive love. Later, I even heard him call through her door playfully. Open up, Dowager. It is your late husband come to see you. I quickly turned away. Some things were better left unheard.